Raphael.
Hi, Sarah.
How are you?
I'm fine. Thanks for asking. And you?
I'm good. I'm glad you're back.
Yes, I'm glad as well.
This should be a fun lesson. I actually really enjoy this video. I think it's very intellectually stimulating. I'm actually worried that it's not very good for English development, but I think the way I've structured it should be good. We'll watch the video 2 times. I think it'll be okay. I think it'll be good.
I'm sure it will.
Good. Well, and I'm glad you're here. You always have thoughtful comments to make, so
Thank you.
that makes a difference. And Julio, hello.
Hello, Stephanie.
It must be nighttime now where you are. It was daytime before, and now it's nighttime.
Yeah, it's daytime. It's daytime.
Oh, what time is it? Oh, because you're in Colombia, so yes, it is daytime. It's just very dark on your screen.
Yeah, because I'm inside of my room, and the light is off.
Yes. Okay, that makes sense. And Edson, hello.
Hello, teacher. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. How are you?
I'm fine, thank you. How are you?
I'm fine, thank you. Where are you from?
I'm from Mexico.
Mexico. Okay. I believe this is your first class with me, correct?
Yes, it is.
Yes. Well, welcome, welcome. I'm glad you're
Thank you.
here. Wonderful. And Andre, hello.
Hi again, Stephanie.
Glad to see you again.
Glad to see you too.
It's a good Saturday night.
Yeah.
And Wellington, hello.
Hello, Stephanie.
Glad you're back as well.
Yeah, me too. I'm glad to hear again.
I must
To
say,
be
one
here.
of my favorite things about teaching on Verbling is having repeat students. I really enjoy the community of students.
Yeah,
So it's very fun for me to, especially when it's a Saturday night and I'm teaching all night. I feel like I'm hanging out with my friends when there's repeat people.
yeah, it's true,
I
it's
feel like
true.
it's fun.
Yeah, sometimes I think I am on verbally about 3 or 4 months, and some students are connecting through the Google Plus, and sometimes we change a little messages, and I think it is very good for us.
Yeah, I actually think that's probably one of the most valuable things for, like, if I were a student learning English, I would really just that connection of other people is so valuable. Like, of course,
Yeah,
you learn from the teacher, but I feel like you might get more from each other sometimes, or from each other's comments, or from listening to each other, and then to be able to build friendships is awesome.
yeah, yeah.
And for me to, especially in contrast to my day job where I'm teaching 4-year-olds, like, of course, I can't speak to a 4-year-old on a personal level. But here on Verbling, I have adults that I'm talking to that I can speak to, I can have deeper thoughts with, or I can speak to on a personal level. It's nice.
Yeah. Okay.
And Adrian, hello.
Hello, teacher. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm fine. I'm fine.
Good. It's good to see you again as well.
Me too.
Good, good. And Mustafa, hello.
Hello.
How are you tonight?
Thank you. I'm fine. How about you?
I'm good. I'm good. I'm having a good Saturday night staying home and teaching. It's actually quite a bit of fun for me to stay home and like I can think of far worse ways to spend my Saturday night. It's fun to be able to connect with people and share things that I enjoy. Like not I don't know, maybe it's not the best thing, and I would like feedback, of course, and I would like requests. Like if there's a certain topic or grammatical point or something you want me to teach, but as far as tonight's lessons go, all of the lessons have been things that I enjoy. So it's kind of nice in that way that I just get to pick things that I like and share them with you. And I hope they're valuable for you, of course. I mean, that's the important thing. If they're not valuable for you, please share that. Please let me know how I can make them better. But in the meantime, I'm glad you're here, and I'm glad you are going to share this lesson with me. And so with that, we might as well get to the lesson. I think Edson is the only new student to me. So I'm going to do my very most brief introduction, 30-second introduction. I'm from the United States. This is my 7th year teaching. It's my 5th year teaching English. I'm new to Verbling, and I'm really happy you're here. It's my brief introduction. And with that, let's go into tonight's lesson, which is a TED Talk lesson. So I really enjoy TED Talks, and that's how I got the idea to use TED Talks in my lessons here. I feel like elevator speech. Unimportant, certainly the case. Okay, so I enjoy TED Talks, and I feel like they're valuable, and so I wanted to use TED Talks in my lessons. So I developed this series of lessons. However, I've only done 2 or 3 TED Talk lessons, and they haven't gone very well. The TED Talks themselves, even though they're short, they're very challenging linguistically, even for me. Like to listen to 5 minutes of a speech on a complex topic, complex vocabulary, it's challenging. So I don't know how well they're going. I feel like tonight's will go okay. I feel like each time I do one, I get a little better. But really, right now what I'm asking is that if you have feedback after this lesson, I really would like to hear it. I would like to know if this was valuable for you, or if it wasn't, or if it could have been, if something were different. So after we go through this lesson, please tell me what parts were good, what parts were bad, how I could improve. I would like to continue using TED Talks, but I need to make sure that it's valuable for the students and not just for me. So with that, let's get into the lesson. Bakri, hello.
Hello,
Hi, how are you tonight?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good, thank you. I think you're new to me, and so I just wanted to say hello and welcome to the lesson.
Thank you.
All right, so let's go to the TED Talks lesson. I'm going to share it on my screen through YouTube. So there's a YouTube app to share it through, but when I do it through the YouTube app, you can't use the closed captioning. And I do find that these are really intense, like language-rich lessons. I feel like if I can use closed captioning, it's really helpful. And again, if you have feedback on that, I'd love to have it. We're not going to watch the video first. We're going to first go through the questions. There's a series of questions that go along with the video. So first we're going to read the questions. We won't answer the questions, but we'll read the questions for vocabulary and as a preview, like to preview the vocabulary. So if there's any vocabulary that is unfamiliar for you, you can ask. And also in talking about the vocabulary, we'll be warming up our brains for the topic. So that's how we're going to approach this. First, we'll walk through the questions and talk about the vocabulary. Then we'll watch the video, and we will actually watch the video 2 times. It's very short. It's a 5-minute video, so watching it 2 times will only take about 10 minutes. I feel that that's necessary. I feel for me, it's very linguistically dense. So watching it 2 times will be valuable, and then we'll go through the questions and answer them, and then we'll have a discussion about the topic. So are there any questions so far before we share the link here?
For me, not.
All right, wonderful. All right, let's go. I'm going to screen share, and we'll just take a walk through the questions to preview and get our brains ready for the video. All right. So this video is the language of lying, and the speaker's name is Noah Zetman. So we're not going to watch it right away. We're going to look at the questions first. And we're only looking through...
Stephanie, sorry.
Yes. Yeah. Yes,
I think Julio is trying to say something.
Oh.
Julio?
Julio?
No.
Okay.
You keep going. Go ahead.
It might be a background noise. So just for everyone, like it works best when everybody's mic is muted for the video and for the part where I'm speaking only. If everyone mutes their mics, it works really well. All right. So we're going to look at the questions, and right now we're not looking for answers. So no answers, just questions on vocabulary. Talking about the vocabulary is going to get our brains ready for this. So how many lies do we hear every day? Are there any questions about vocabulary here?
Nope.
Probably not. It's a pretty simple question. What percentage of our brain's communication is conscious? Any questions about the vocabulary in this or the meaning of the question?
No.
All right, excellent. Okay. These are all things that the video will answer, so keep these questions in mind. Do liars use more first-person or third-person pronouns? Any questions on that? What is a first-person versus third-person pronoun?
Nope.
My friend.
I actually, even if you don't have questions on that, I'm going to challenge you all. I would like someone to tell me what is a first-person pronoun and what is a third-person pronoun?
I, you.
Yep, I, you. I is first person. You is second person.
You second person. He, she, and it for the third person.
Yes, excellent, excellent. So we'll be, as you watch the video, listen for whether liars use I, we are the first person. He, she, and it are the third person. Very good. Again, just for the vocabulary, do you notice others behaving strangely when they are lying? Actually, this would be a good question to talk about now before we watch the video. So I'm going to open this as a question to everyone. Do you notice others behaving strangely when they are lying? And what behaviors do you notice? Anyone want to answer that?
Diverting the eyes, for example.
Say that again?
Diverting their eyes. So,
yeah. Oops.
Blinking a lot.
Blinking a lot. So that's almost the same, right? Yeah. Like avoiding eye contact. Anything else?
Some people roll their hair.
Hesitation.
We would probably say playing with the hair. Yep.
Hesitation. A lot of hesitation.
Hesitation.
Some people laugh when are lying. They are trying to not laugh, but they laugh.
So it's almost an uncomfortable laugh, right?
Yeah.
Like it's unnatural, right? It's not like a laugh like something was funny, but it's almost
Fake.
uncomfortable.
Fake.
So fake, yeah, fake, uncomfortable. Yeah. Good.
Stutter.
Anything else? What was that?
Some
people stutter.
sometimes
Oh, a stutter.
Sweating. I'm sweating.
Stutter, sweating.
Sweat.
Yeah.
yeah, stutter.
A stutter, sweating, yeah. So when you hesitate to speak properly, or if you're sweating when you're speaking. Yeah, good. Anything else?
Hands get freezy sometimes.
Hands get, what was that, crazy
Cool.
or freezing? Oh, yeah.
Cool,
So,
cool.
Okay, so we actually have this is a very particular word in English, clammy.
Clammy.
That's where they're not actually cold, but they feel cold on the outside. That's where they're, it's hard to explain, but I know that that's the word you're looking for. Like where they feel cold on the outside and they're a little bit restless. Yeah. They're cold, but they're hot at the same time, and they're moving a lot. They're clammy. We say clammy.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah. A very strange word. Anything else? Really good comments. All right, let's go on. Really good comments there. So, do liars tell simple or more detailed and action-based accounts of events? Again, don't answer right now. We'll answer at the end after watching. But are there vocabulary questions?
More detail.
What?
And what does it mean, accounts, in this case?
Oh, good question. Yeah, accounts are a person's version of events. So if I account a story to you, I'm telling you a story. My version of the story is my account of the story. The way that I tell the story is my account.
Okay, I didn't know. Thank you.
No, very good question. Any other questions?
No.
All right, good. Let's go. How conscious are you of the types of words you communicate? Do you say I or we more? Do you use more positive or negative language? This is one we can actually answer a little bit. We won't spend too much time because, again, we're going to come back to these questions later. But this is an open-ended question, so what do you think? How conscious are you of the types of words you communicate? And maybe I should start, like, as a teacher, I feel like when I'm teaching, I'm very conscious of the types of words I use to communicate. In my day-to-day life, that would be a different question and an interesting question, but
So it depends on the situation.
yeah, definitely.
Yeah. When I am in my work, we I say more we when I
Oh,
when I answer some questions, when I am writing answer email for my job, for my area. I write we 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 find our analysis, for example. It depends the situation, but in my home or I use more I.
yeah, that's a really thank you very
Yeah.
much, Wellington. I feel like that's a really good comment. Like as a part of a when you're a part of a community, you might use we. When you're
Yeah,
speaking on behalf of your job,
yeah,
you
yeah.
might use we. Yeah.
Yeah.
Good. Would anyone else like to add on to that or comment on that? Or I just feel that was a.
You know, sometimes people, despite being in a group, for example, tell that for example, they say I did something or I. So it's kind of, it makes other people, um, um, you know, uh, kind of. It's not. It's not. How do you say it?
It almost makes like people have to represent who they
Yeah,
are.
it's not polite to say, for example, even it's a manager of the group to say just I,
Yeah,
not we.
yeah.
So
That's a little bit rude that
yeah.
they're speaking on behalf of a organization, so they must use we.
Hmm.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Good. Wonderful. Really good comments, everyone. All right. So, before like we talked about this, but also this part we didn't necessarily talk about. Do you use more positive or negative language? I don't feel that I have a good sense to judge whether I use more positive or negative. I feel like I might use more negative just because my sense of humor is kind of dark. But does anyone have a comment on this? Like, do you use, like, in general, when you're communicating, do you use positive or negative language?
We need to understand what is positive and what is negative language first.
Yeah. Okay. So, yeah. So positive language, like you're upbeat, you're happy. You present yourself to the world in a happy way. Oh, today was great because nothing bad happened. Whereas negative language would be like, today was mediocre because nothing interesting happened. Or today was dull because it was the same as all the other days. Or,
Boring.
Optimist
yeah,
versus pessimist.
kind of. But I also don't want to cast that light on it either. As someone who isn't necessarily a positive language user, like, I'm a positive person, but my sense of
Like
humor
Pollyanna,
is very dark. Like
like Po-
I like
like
negative
Polly,
humor.
Negative.
like Pollyanna.
Pollyanna. Yes, Pollyanna would be definitely the positive side of that. Like, oh, today I woke up and I picked flowers for my auntie and I gave them to her and it was beautiful and then we rode in our covered wagon. Yeah, Pollyanna is very positive.
Negative might mean insecurity.
Yeah, sometimes. I mean, I think a lot of times it does. But there's also, I think it also doesn't in a lot of times. I feel like just because there is, like, the world isn't always happy, so it's not realistic to be happy all the time. And if your language reflects unhappiness, that's not necessarily a bad thing. It might be just, you might, I don't know,
I,
in my situation, I feel like it's more I'm almost pessimistic because I want to be proven wrong. Because I want the world to be positive, and so I'm pessimistic so that I get surprised happily, if that makes sense.
Yeah. Sorry, excuse me. I think that that statement is talking about, for example, when someone asks you for something, for example, do you have, for example, that simple question, do you have any pen? Unconscious, there are many people that at the first word that say is, I don't think so, or I don't have one, but they always have one, and but it's unconscious. Just always say, I don't have, or I don't have any. But after that, they get someone and give and bring the pen or something like that. It's
Yeah.
the first instance.
Yeah, no, I think that's a good point. Yeah, some people, like, because negativity is so frowned upon or it's so bad that some people won't be honest about it to begin with. Almost.
Yeah.
Yeah. Good. I think that's, yeah, really good comments. Okay. So we should probably, okay, so think about a famous liar in history. Are there any language cues you can use to spot the deception? We're not going to actually answer this, but are there questions, vocabulary questions, any words that need explanation? You will hear about famous liars in the video. Good, good. Okay. Do liars use more positive or negative language? Again, any vocabulary? We're not going to answer this right now. Probably not any vocabulary so far because it's repeat. But if there is, please ask. All right, so that was so we're going to come back to these questions after we view the video. We are going to hopefully view the video 2 times. I am going to view, okay, so there's 2 ways to view a YouTube video through Verbling. I have tried through the YouTube app and it's been fine, but I want to try through, the problem with the YouTube app is I can't do the closed captioning. I feel like closed captioning is really valuable. I feel like if you can see the words as you hear the video, I feel like that's helpful. So I am going to screen share my YouTube with the closed captioning on the video, unless there's suggestions about how to do it better. I'm actually pretty inept when it comes to technology, so if there is a better way, please tell me. But if there's not a better way, I would like to probably just go this way, and we'll use YouTube, and I will turn the closed captioning on, and there's the closed captioning. I think it's on, okay, and we'll just start. And please tell me if it's not working, tell me, because again, I'm new at this, and I want this to work right. So if it's not working, tell me.
The sound is mute.
What's that?
The sound is mute.
In that case, I guess we can't hear any sound because you share your screen and all sound goes to your headsets. So.
Okay. So how important is? Well, you know what? If we're gonna watch it twice, well, I don't know. Like, so I'll share it through the YouTube.
Yeah, I think, Stephanie.
My only problem with the YouTube is I would just really like that the closed captioning would work, and it doesn't. But I wish it would. But maybe it doesn't need to. Maybe that's just my thing.
Teacher.
I feel like when you hear and when you see, I feel like it goes together really nice.
Teacher,
Yeah.
teacher, why don't we use the YouTube app?
Yes, okay, so I will. I'm going to copy and paste it into the YouTube app right now. I think that is best. The only reason I wasn't at first was because of the closed captioning.
Okay.
We will be
Because
training
that doesn't work on
without.
it doesn't work on the YouTube app.
Can you hear something? I couldn't hear anything.
So I just want to make sure this is working for everyone. I'm worried that there's no sound.
Yes, I couldn't hear something.
Okay, and I'm not sure about the Japanese. Okay, so but you can hear the sound. Yes?
I am watching through my note. You put the link, so for me it's better than I enter in the
Okay.
Google chat.
Yeah. So maybe I should just post that again so that everyone can kind of, if it's not working,
For me
do
it's better.
please follow along in that's the reason we put it in the chat.
For me, it's
It's
always
working.
is better use see the videos through my.
Better.
Okay. I'm not like it is interesting to me that there's the subtitles in Japanese right now, or I don't know. Those weren't there before. I hope that's not affecting anybody's comprehension. I hope things are working okay. I'm going to press play again if that's okay. And if not, like if it's not working for you, please go back to the link in the chat and watch it on your own. We'll also
Wow.
Right, so that was the video. We do have time to watch it one more time just because the TED videos can be kind of intense, but that might also not be necessary. Are there any initial reactions to what you saw? Anything interesting you want to say?
Yeah, it's very interesting video. For example, wow, 200 of life per day at minimum. Well, we like a lot. And there are some cool are interesting. I haven't noticed for example the your will is talking third person when you are lying. Uh,
Yeah.
uh, some stuff like that. For example, they talk the last answer, the speech several years before, and the speech when we all knew the truth about about this
And
championship.
he definitely
Yes,
changed
amazing.
his tune, right?
Yes, it's amazing. I like the fact that you can study in depth of life about psychology about you can figure out with science is amazing.
Yeah, and also for me as a linguist, the science of language, which most people will tell you that language is a soft science or not a real science. But you can learn a lot by just paying attention to what people say, especially in this case.
I want to say, of course, maybe some liars can speak negatively and relate to others instead of them, but I think how can we play that? Because I can say, for example, if someone is telling me negative things and telling about not himself or herself, but I can't say that he's lying. It's just it's a research, and
I think that's a really good point too, especially some of the points they bring up, especially about the eye contact. Eye contact is actually very culturally, like, eye contact from culture to culture is very different. I'm actually terrible at eye contact. If you met me in real life and you had a real conversation with me, I wouldn't be lying to you, but I'm also very terrible at eye contact. Eye contact to me is just very challenging. It's difficult. It's hard for me, and not because I'm lying, but because just in the way I grew up, it doesn't feel natural to me, and so I avoid it. So I think that has a lot to do with it. Like, and I know a few cultures that have the same thing where culturally they don't make eye contact, and so you can't just automatically assume they're lying. Yeah. So there's, especially if you're reading body language or communication, like nonverbal communication, you can't make a categorical assumption.
Yeah, and I want to say, for example, based on this video, for example, you see that someone is telling me simple phrases, right? Negative, and I will start to think that he's lying or she's lying to me. It's kind of self-fulfilling prophecy. You will.
Oh yeah.
You will not trust him or her, and sometimes he will actually lie to you. So.
Yeah, that's a really good point.
Yeah.
I'd also like to add in also, like as far as language learning goes, like in Spanish, there's certain tenses I can't say properly. So I might speak in the first person more often just because I know how to speak in the first person, whereas I don't know how to speak in the third person as much, So it might be completely disconnected from lies. Like if it's not your first language, that adds a whole aspect that wouldn't be a part of it.
It's a kind of ironic if you see that these are not, how can I say, ordinary people. They are influential people. They have people behind them. They have specialists behind them in order to show them how to express themselves in public and to make people believe that they are not lying. But unfortunately, I don't know, I'm not saying unfortunately, but they just did it. And it's a kind of strange how easy it is to discover a lie. So that's, at least for me, it's a kind of ironic.
It's interesting. Yeah, that's an interesting way to think of it too. Yeah, oftentimes liars do have, especially, like I feel like this video was made, it's from TED Talk, so it wasn't made for English learners. So it was made for liars specifically who are native English speakers and how native English speakers lie. And I think there is a distinction. I feel like lying, like humor, right? Things are funny in one language and not funny in another language. I think the same thing is true with lies. Something is a lie in one language, or a lie, a lie is a lie, but something's a good lie in one language or a bad lie in another language. I feel like there's something in the genre there that transcends language ability. I feel like that's interesting. Does anyone have any comments on that? Should we go to the questions, maybe? I feel like we should go to the questions. I feel like we could have some good discussions around the questions that we previewed before the video. Looking at the time now, like when I planned this video, I thought we could maybe watch it 2 times. I don't feel like that's a good idea now with the time we have left. but hopefully everyone got enough out of the video to be able to respond to the questions a little bit, or at least have a discussion, because that's kind of the idea of being here. So I'm going to go to the video, and let's just go back into the questions. And so this time everybody can answer this question. You can enter your answer into the chat. How many lies do we hear every day? A, 1 through 5, B, 5 through 9, C, through 10 through 200, or D, over 200? Enter your answer in the chat. I'd like to hear everyone's answer. So if you enter like A, B, C, D in the chat, I'll be able to hear everyone's answer. It'll be kind of interesting for me, at least. If not for you all, I'm sure it'll be interesting for you all as well. Yeah, yep, the videos certainly seem to say between 10 and 200, which was kind of shocking to me, right? You don't expect to hear that many. Like, that feels like a lot of
Every
lies.
day.
Yeah, every day, right?
So we are living in our lives.
Yeah, most of them are just the stupid lies like, oh, how are you? I'm fine. It's not a lie, it's just the response. When you ask someone, how are you? I am fine. It's just the response. It's not a lie, but technically it's a lie. Pretty crazy. Yeah, and would you even count those as a real lie? That's another question.
Considering the fact that a normal man, an average man, say at least 4,000 words per day, it means something like 1 in 20 words, I think.
So necessarily, part of their speech daily is going to be a lie. Yeah. It's kind of fascinating to think of. All right, how about question 2? What percentage of our brain's communication is conscious? I actually don't remember the video, like from the video I don't remember, but I know what I think I know. What do you all think? A, B, C, D? Yep, definitely. Yeah. I actually, part of my teacher training, in fact, the best part of my teacher training, and actually a part that's completely useless on Verbling, which I'm great at in real life, but it's completely useless on Verbling, but body language is one of the most important parts of communication. Like when I teach my 3-year-olds here in the Czech Republic, they learn English because of my gestures, not because of what I say or what I do or because of what I make them say. It's fascinating. But yeah. Good. So I feel like that goes along, like, so only 5% is conscious, 85% is unconscious body language, I would say. Most important part of communication is body language. Question 3, do liars use first-person or third-person pronouns? Did anyone catch this answer in the video?
Yes, third person.
I actually was kind of surprised about this one. I thought it would be first person.
Yeah, me too.
Right, because liars seem self-absorbed.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm getting some bad feedback from you. Oh, I'm really sorry, Julio. I'm getting some bad feedback on your end. I would like to hear it. Does anyone else want to comment on that? Like, I thought it would be first person for sure. Like a liar would talk about themselves, right?
No, I don't think so.
Yeah, it's surprising. Most of the time, we expect to speak about themselves, explain how brave, how good enough they are, but speaking or talking about the third person, it's, yeah.
I wonder why that is. Is that because it's easier to make up, or who knows? It's interesting. Good. Yeah, thank you. How about this? So we talked about this before. Do you notice any other behaviors strangely? Others behaving strangely when they're lying? What behaviors do you notice? So we talked about behaviors beforehand. What did the videos say? What's different? What's the same? I have to say, playing with the hair, that's, at least for me, and I'm not a huge liar, so maybe this is different, but if I'm playing with my hair, I'm not lying, I'm probably flirting.
Okay. Good to know.
Just saying. Like it's something I definitely do, but it's usually not a lie. And then also diverging the eyes or not making eye contact. That's also a very cultural thing. And for my culture, I'm supposed to make eye contact, but me personally, have not been very good at that. I don't make eye contact very well.
It could be a shy
Sometimes it
person,
gets,
for example.
yeah.
Yeah, it seems to be.
Yeah, definitely. Any other ideas on that? Like, we had a lot of stuff here, so any ideas on that or what the video said? Any of that? I think all of them are things that would flag you to a person. So let's look at this one. Do liars tell simple or more detailed and action-based accounts of events? So the video answered this very concretely. What's the answer for this? Answer it in the chat or answer it out loud.
Yeah.
Are they simple accounts, or are they more detailed and action-based accounts, or are they unknown?
B.
Yeah. I actually thought that was pretty interesting.
I
It
thought it
seems
was
like
simple.
what?
Is it simple or is it more detailed?
Simple. It
I
is
guess
difficult to make lying,
Yeah.
because their brain is
actually, yeah. In the video, yeah, it's simple.
simple,
Okay,
because
the video.
their brain is a little bit busy. It's difficult for him to make complicated.
Yeah. It actually takes more effort from the brain
Yes.
to do the detailed. But I feel like we all thought this would be the answer.
Yeah. Irrelevant details. We're expecting all of us, I think.
Yeah. And it seems like that, like, I'm sure, like, I feel like when I've been lied to, I feel like their stories are convoluted and detailed and too much.
Yeah. Irrelevant sometimes.
Yeah. It's interesting. Good.
I think they create simple accounts because you can lie the first time and you can forget about those if you, for example, create a detailed or action-based accounts of the events, and you can.
I think
I think that's a good point, though. Like, you need to, if you're gonna tell a lie, you should keep track of it, right?
Yeah. Because of that, I guess.
Yeah.
I think the video shown that can be A and B. When
Both simple and detailed.
both.
Yeah, both simple and detailed. Yeah,
Because
both.
the Edwards, former senator,
Mhm.
first,
Oh.
first he said in a complex form when he denied the truth about his
daughter.
son.
Yeah. He was actually, in his denial, he was more simple for a minute, and then he was very complicated, and then when he finally admitted to being the father, then it came out. I actually think this goes back to the question before with the first person and the third person. Like, when he was denying his daughter, he was talking about her in the third person. That girl who somebody fathered that I don't know who it was, versus him, I am the father of her. Yeah. Good. So, how conscious are you of the types of words you communicate? Do you say I or we more? Do you use positive or negative language? To me, this question is fascinating. I hope we get to all answer this. I'm going to give a really quick answer for me first, just to maybe you all will also answer. I'm very conscious of the words I communicate when I'm teaching. As a teacher, I feel like I have to be. The words I say are the words you learn, in a way. I necessarily need to pay attention to what I say. It's a learned skill. It's a skill that I didn't always have. So that's my answer. How about you?
I think it's difficult for me, especially because I still have some sort of language barrier. But in my language, I think I communicate much better. I know exactly what I'm talking about, and I most of the time I say the positive. Yeah, I say yes for positive language.
Okay.
I think it is depend of the environment. For example, for instance, if you are a leader of team, uh, it is good use phrase with we for to create
Yeah, that's a good
a
point.
team.
Yeah. Yeah, because there's a power
Sometimes.
carried within the words. Yeah.
Sometimes.
Yeah, so if you're at work and you're leading a team, you should use the team pronoun. Yeah. That makes sense. And I see that I do that as a teacher a lot more in my, like, not here so much on Verbling, because you're adults. Like, you don't need that in the same way. But as when I teach my 3-year-olds, and like, I definitely use it a lot. Like, oh, let's all hold hands. We are going to eat apples. We should color our pages now. Let's sing a song. Yeah, I can see that.
It's depended for me when I am drunk. When I am drunk.
When you're drunk, it's we.
It's not. It's not true. I never stay drunk.
When I'm drunk,
know.
I can pronounce rolled R very well.
I, we, you.
That's
It's
funny.
not true. I don't. I
There are
don't
some
drink too
benefits to
much.
that, though. No, yes,
I
but
d-
there are benefits. Like the first time I rolled my R, it was from drinking, and there are some times, like for an American, it's very hard to roll your R. Very, very difficult.
I don't drink.
At all. Me either.
But I use it to team when I am team, when I are talking about something that I do with other, and sometimes I do something only me and because sometimes we can say we, but the work is only you. It depends the situation.
It really depends. It really does. And there are a lot of times where it's better to say we if you're a team, especially in work situations and team situations.
Yeah.
Definitely. So this has been okay. So I would just like to say, like, we're past our time and everything. So my TED Talk lessons, I've only done about 3 or 4, and they haven't always been great because I'm not sure, they're so jam-packed with information. I'm not sure how to make the lessons be valuable for the students. So I would really, really like feedback. Like, hopefully I feel like it's best if I allow time for conversation, like I did tonight. But then again, we only watched the video once, and maybe it was confusing to people. I would just really like some feedback on the ratio of conversation to content. Do you feel like you got your money's worth of conversation? Would you have liked to studied more before watching the video? Would you have liked to watch the video 2 times? Would you have liked to move through the questions faster? I would just really like feedback because I enjoy doing this lesson, but only if it's valuable to the students that I do it for. So I guess I'm saying please give me some feedback and
It's a good way to learn English. Yeah,
What?
it's a good. I think it's a good way to learn English. Is use the TikToks. Is amazing.
Good, yeah. Like, so my thing is like, I agree, like the TED Talks are great, but watching it only once, like to me they're very dense. Like linguistically, they're challenging to me, and they're in my native language. So,
Yeah.
like if they're that challenging to me in my native language, like I just want to make sure that it's valuable for you also.
You have to select. You have to select talks not very hard.
Yeah, that's why. So I've chosen shorter ones, but it's hard to it's hard to choose an easy, because an easy can mean a lot of things. So I've opted on the side of short, because if it's under 5 minutes, we can watch it 2 times. We can have closed captioning. We can do vocabulary. Like if it's only 5 minutes.
Yeah.
To me,
I would prefer to watch the video without any background about the questions at the first 5 minutes of the class, or 5 or 10 minutes of the class.
So right away watch it.
Yeah, and meanwhile we can discuss it. At the end we can watch the video to recap again what we have seen already.
Okay, I like it. Thank you.
Out of it. Yeah.
Yeah, that's really good feedback. That's good, yeah. Because I do feel like we had a really rich discussion afterwards tonight. Yeah.
Even the vocabulary will be more obvious, more clear as we recap at the end.
Do you think, okay, so then my other hesitation is, do you feel that I put an appropriate level on this class? Like, I put it as the highest English, because I do feel like the TED Talks are demanding.
I
and
think
so I put...
It's okay. I think the level is okay. It's more comprehensive, a lot of vocabularies, very quick native speaker. So, yeah, it needs...
Which is what it should be for that high of level, right?
Yes, it's appropriate for high.
Okay.
No, we may not know in some words, but we get the meaning, the general meaning.
Yeah, which is that's the point, right? Like there should be a challenge at some point. You shouldn't be able to write a transcript of what I'm saying.
Yeah, if we take just the home message, the take-home message, or out of the video, it's not necessary to understand the video in details.
Yeah.
Just the idea, the new vocabularies. Yeah, because we are not interested in the content other than how we take the vocabulary and how to use it in our own life.
Good. Okay, good. So I should repeat this type of lesson then soon sometime.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
Well, you all have been great, and I've been very grateful for you to be here. And thank you very much for participating in your comments and everything. It's been fun.
Have a good day.
Thank you.
All right. Bye. Have a good night and a good day.
Bye.
Thank you, guys.
Bye.
Thank you.